Hey, so this is video part 2, also December 12th, 8:40, etc. p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll probably just have the time listed down below. So, some of the changes that I've noticed in the past 4 months with hormone therapy. Okay, so everyone wants to change their body, and everyone has expectations. Everyone does. Who doesn't have expectations? You listen to music, there's a meter, and you have expectation. Hormone therapy, same thing. Like, what will that meter be? And what kinds of things are going to be going on in my body? Well, that's a good question. I don't have any answers. Actually, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'll start from the beginning. But first and foremost, one of the biggest things immediately that I noticed with hormone therapy is that after I started hormone therapy, a couple of weeks in, my appetite has greatly increased. So, which is awesome because I like eating, and the increased ability to want to eat more is great. So first week, didn't really notice much. Taking spironolactone, testosterone blocker, made me dizzy. It made me dizzy for like the first while, and it was really disorienting because I'd bike to work, drive to work, or whatnot, and of course you need your concentration. So I would say, I modified the time that I would take it. I would take it once I got to work. So it's just like, well, once I got to work, I'm safe. It's just the quality of work. Hey, who knows? So, so that's that. My skin too, with the patch, it was kind of irritated. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know if I'm like an X person, X-Men, X-Man, get it? But the patch was really irritating. But it seems to not irritate me anymore. So I'm not sure if that's a normal thing, but that's just what happened. But nothing for the first month. I didn't have any stories like, oh my goodness, like my chest has started to grow, and I noticed my fingernails are starting to come out with colors instead of just coming out clear. No, none of that stuff happened. To also clarify too, I started my first week on spironolactone. Then after that first week, I started using the patch. But yeah, for that first month, it just nothing happened, and I'm just like, well, I do feel some more emotional changes. But I also need to preface this by saying that I did try a little bit of herbal estrogens and did take incorrect amounts, and that definitely challenged me and taxed me and stressed me out, like you wouldn't believe. It was just, I was so cranky, feeling one mood, feeling another, just like really, really terrible mood swings. So that's one thing that happened. With the amount of estrogen that I'm now taking, which I have been taking, it's not a large amount, and it's significantly a lot less than what I was doing with herbal estrogens. So I didn't feel any mood swings per se, but I definitely felt calm because I was doing something that I really wanted to do. But also too emotionally, I did, notice in the same way when one quits smoking, like you're like, wow, I can smell a little bit more, or it can taste a little bit more, as they go hand in hand. With estrogen, for me, emotionally, it I felt like my palate, my ability to sense and then to interpret, changed, and it was just so much wider than what I was used to. whereas I felt like my capabilities emotionally were very much um, like that prior to hormone therapy, and then that's like the max and minimum, or like the left and the right rather, that I could experience. And now it was more like further that way, and then also the magnitude was also a lot higher and lower. But besides that, like moods could also simultaneously. There was more than just one thing. It felt like there were multiple things at the same time. So it was more of a symphony of emotions and feelings and whatnot. So uh, over time, it just felt really empowering, and it still does. I still feel very happy. Um, so that itself was enough to justify itself in my life. It was just that emotional, mental connectedness with how I identified and who the mind, how the mind was shaping and becoming. Um, into my second month, I didn't notice too much as well. I was also kind of just um, stressed out. My housing situation was terrible, and things weren't working out. Working a lot, and um, I did notice at the end of the second month that the my nipples just started to kind of like itch in the same way hair grows on your body for the first time, and it's just kind of awkward, and you're just like, kind of weird. And then, anywho, so that's kind of what it felt like, but there wasn't any hair growing, so something was a little off. Emotional changes, I felt like it was also just kind of continuing along, and I felt a lot stronger, and like my inner strength, my foundation was really shaping up. So despite all the craziness, I felt really strong still. And I'd say by the third month, by last month, that's when I noticed changes happening, like for real. So I woke up one morning and I was looking at my shirt, and I was just like looking, and I'm like, my shirt's kind of shaped differently, and like it's kind of like shirt, chest, and then down. And I'm like, well, maybe my nipples just erect. I don't know, erect nipples. But it wasn't at all. It was just the actual budding that was starting to happen. So that was I don't know. I felt like I don't know. I told everyone. I was just like, look what's happening. This is amazing. Like, everyone check it out. Um, so yeah, it was really really exciting. Um, and also painful. Um, I apologized to my sister for all the times where I would be an annoying little boy, um, poking her in the chest as she was developing. We're just a year apart, so I'm supposed to be the mature one, setting an example, but I'm also taunting her. So, yeah. So when I can't sleep at night because my chest hurts, I'm like, revenge. I'm being. Anyways, so that's that. And yes, it is painful when it does happen, but it's kind of an exciting pain, um, because then that meter, that change, the unexpected. Like, I know other people have taken hormone therapy. I know some people have seen changes, um, but when does that happen to me, and what does that look like? So now, not only have the emotional and mental things kind of strengthened and developed and kind of matured a lot over the past few months, my physical self, um, it's also starting to just also start to change as well. And also, the left side is developing. It first started developing a lot faster and sooner than my right chest. And my right one caught up a little bit. And now they're both kind of just like synchronize a little bit, like the Power Rangers, like synchronized. Anywho, um, and since from the present moment up until last month, I'd say that my chest size has doubled from what it was last month. So it's growing pretty fast and also very painful still. So yeah, that's been a really exciting thing. So my appetite has also increased. I feel like my body's also trying to compensate for like all this extra like areas of fat. There's been some fat that has started to kind of like collect, but build up a little bit around my legs and in my hip area, which is pretty exciting because it's nice because it's annoying when jeans fall down, and so yeah, so that's been another big change too. Is just fat distribution. Is just I feel a lot warmer. I've also noticed that my skin is a lot softer. Like to achieve this level of softness, to achieve this level, I would have had to put like really good lotion on my skin continuously, like in the morning and in the evening. But now I'm like, I do it naturally. I'm saving money. I don't have to buy lotion anymore. Ha! Take that, lotion companies. Ha! But then when I do use lotion, I'm like even softer. So I'm like, oh no, lotion companies, you got me. So now I'm like, how soft can I get? So every once in a while, I'll uncomfortably touch myself. Well, uncomfortable for everybody else around me, but I'll just touch myself and be like, I'm so soft. But that's another big change. So for some of you folks wondering about facial hair, it doesn't change your size of your facial hair. It does change the pore size a little bit for me, and that's been more apparent. So some tips that I would mention is just that one of the most important things is exfoliation, and also for your pores to kind of change, like readjust their size. It's important not to shave every single day. Like it's important just to allow your facial hair to grow for like even 4 or 5 days, and give your hair follicles a break. So and hopefully that also aids with doing electrolysis or whatever hair removal you do. So giving it a break allows your pores to kind of shrink a little bit, and then I've noticed that my hairs have been a lot finer and thinner. Rate of hair growth incredibly, like more than 100% slowed down. It's just like it just creeps up now, just a little bit barely. Same thing with the rest of my body. And yes, some of you saw that I didn't shave my armpits. I'm kind of lazy. It's been snowing, it's cold, I've been wearing sweaters constantly, so it's like not really anyone can tell. But yeah, I would say facially things have changed a little bit, but it's really hard to say because I see my face every single day, so it's really hard to chart that change. But I would say that my face does feel a little bit softer as well. Like fat has kind of like, hey little fat, there you are, hey, and there it is. So yeah, it's been 4 months, and my current prognosis, my thing from the doctor is that I'll continue on the same amount of dosage, seeing that my body is already making some changes as is. So I'm almost near the 15-minute limit, but I'm pretty much going to stay on the same dosage with Spiro and estrogen and just keep going with that. But those are some of the changes. Also, to my bladder size has like increased by like half, which is really annoying. And that's about it. So thank you for watching, and I have to end this really quickly. Love you and take care.